Enemy is really a big force of why, a big credit in why Penta is doing as well as they are, because he's been able to kill so much time, and also enemies, he's got two lined up! Oh, is he gonna get them both? Enemy just waiting for them to peek. Hyper will have to come on in as Acid is on his drone, and it's gonna be 1-2 for Hyper. Can he find any more? There's a plant going down for Eclipse, and Hyper's gonna hear it. Nope. Walk on in, make a ton of noise, Eclipse will fall off, but Hyper has no idea where it is. It's a messy fight, but it'll be Hyper who ends up prevailing. But nobody's going for the plant. GDN will have to come in, losing two members of the team. Navi's comes in, takes out Panico, bye-bye Moringa, and now down goes Hugzord. GDN losing quite a bit of HP. 2 kills for M-King. Bomb up, but Hicks is on a rotate now. Shotgun gets pulled out. It's a double shot onto Shepard, down amidst the smoke, but he's going to miss onto the Capital, waiting to hear the M249. Alfama not spotted just yet. Joystick going for the plant. Oh, we have an opportunity. LeStream in the last second. Oh my goodness, what a play. It's going to be a 4v2, and Chaos is just going to snap their fingers and push on in yet again. But Koga doing his damnedest. He takes out 2 so far in this round, under fire from multiple angles as Vitaline is getting that plant down. He's got the safety of the bar around him. Oh, but there's Koga. He's going to grab his 3rd kill. Crips is also down, and look at how low Secretly is. This is so winnable for Koga. It's a 1v1, 5 seconds left, but Koga!
Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time. Welcome in to Season 9. My name is Flynn. I'm joined by Kickstar.
Hello.
We're ready to wrap up Season 9 of the Rainbow Six Pro League with Europe. We already have our land spots determined, but we have yet to see who will be removed from EU Pro League and who might have to play a Challenger League team coming out of the region as well. We have 4 games for you this evening. They're going to be bangers, every single one of them. Some of them will impact the standings and some of them won't. We'll take a look at the standings to show you what we're talking about.
All right, so Team Empire up there in first. They cannot be moved from that pedestal. They stand atop all of Europe, and that's that. That's just how it's going to be. LeStream in second, and also that is that. Will not change. So the real point of focus for today, as Flynn mentioned just now, is those bottom 3 spots from 6th, 7th, and 8th, Mouse, Na'Vi, and Secret. We've got all 3 of those teams finding out where they're going to be ending up in terms of relegation or auto-relegation. Na'Vi and Secret both potentially could be auto-relegated still, depending on what happens today. And Mouse, Na'Vi, and Secret all could find themselves in the 7th spot, the relegation spot. So it's just going to be, I guess, the whole day focused on determining who ends up where in that bottom 3. We'll bring up the schedule to show you in what order we'll be determining just that.
So we start things off with Penta versus LeStream. Penta will not be going to LAN, nor will they have to worry about a relegation spot, and LeStream already locked in their number 2 seed just a few weeks ago. So for this game, not a lot is going to make a difference in the standings. It's a tune-up game for LeStream, their last one to round things out before they head to Milan. And for Penta, it's to put a nice little bookend on Season 9, to return back even stronger in Season 10, to hopefully press for a LAN spot in our Asian season final. We don't have an exact location on that just yet. Then following up, the battle between former teammates, Team Secret against Chaos. Chaos, on a heater of a run in the back half of Season 9, have cemented their spot in Pro League for Season 10 as well. Team Secret, on the other hand, the 3rd seed in EU in Season 8, will now battle for their lives as they currently sit in the 8th spot, which would be auto relegation and immediate removal from Pro League back to Challenge League from whence they came. Na'Vi and G2. Na'Vi, similar situation, similar type of game. You got G2 already cemented in the middle of the pack. Na'Vi in a relegation spot currently. There is a scenario in which they get out of a relegation spot entirely, but it would involve them handedly beating G2 and Mouse getting handedly swept by Empire, which will be our 4th game.
Yeah, so to be super clear, Mouse is within punching distance of going to the 7th spot. It's just very unlikely. You know, it could happen, though. We'll see. But for now, let's bring up those defender picks and bans, starting with the picks, of course. And, oh yeah, Smoke's at the top. Not a huge surprise. I mean, well, there's pretty much no surprise going on here at all. Mira's not even in that top 10, and why? Because Europe doesn't like Mira. And yeah, that's, I guess, the story.
That really is the story. And then if we move on over into the bans, you can see the ban right there for Echo soaring, but not number 1. Like you said, Europe just not enjoying Mira at all on any map in any scenario. 77% ban rate. You got the big 3 still at the top and a couple more info ops with Nitros trailing out in the top 5. It's the same kind of story we see across the regions.
And the attackers, starting with their pick rates. Thermite, much like Latin America, number 1 in the standings here for Europe. You got Sophia, another hard breacher. This is what we actually used to see in Latin America way back. It was the Thermite Habana combo at the top, where a lot of Latin American teams would just bring both all the time. It's not the case anymore in Latin America, but here it is a new thing for Europe, so look at that. Ash is still pretty high up there, which is a little bit surprising, but other than that, it's pretty standard fare. I would say you could expect Capitao to start getting bumped up after his change, but it's the end of the season, so yeah, let's look at the bans for the attackers.
So pretty similar to, honestly, a lot of the bans in all the other regions, just in a different order. We have Maverick leading the charge in Europe, not far behind, is Ying, and then Montaigne, Glaz, and Dokkaebi. A lot of smoke operators here, 3 of them to be exact, and Maverick, which doesn't really have a lot of counterplay at the moment. Ying with a new change could see the ban rate slip a little bit, but like you said, it's the last play day. We only got 4 games left, so yeah, we're probably not going to be seeing a whole lot of change on these numbers between now and the end of the season when they could be updated. Take a look at the maps, though. Where does EU like to play? Where do they not like to play? We're going to start with the top played map and the other subsequential maps. It's Oregon leading the way, which is surprising considering Oregon's, I guess, tendency to be a little more rigid. Not a lot of construction you can do or evolution you can do on the map.
Have you noticed that the maps that get played are usually counterintuitive per the region? Like, for example, Coastline is I think one of the least played maps in Latin America, whereas here in Europe we have Oregon as one of the most played maps. Does that not run counter to everything we know? The conventional wisdom seems to be really unconventional, or just it's a paradox. It doesn't make any sense. But hey, there you go, Oregon at the top.
And then we'll take a look at the bans. It'll most likely just be the inverse of this list. And Bank, the top banned map in Europe. Interesting that Border as well, a map that saw a majority of play and pro play in all 3 regions, really. Falling out of favor in all 3 regions. It's in the bottom half of played maps in all 3.
I mean, as time goes on, maps get figured out and they become stale. Or things like, okay, for example, Chalet, way back. Chalet used to be the premier competitive map. People really liked it, but then they figured out, okay, if we do these certain things, it's possible to completely deny any flexibility or movement on the side of the defenders. So it fell out of favor. Stuff like that does happen with maps like Border, which is actually, in terms of Siege, kind of a small map. And there's a lot you can do to just completely lock out certain strategies that the other team will then have to adjust around.
Well, there's all your preface information. Let's move into the games. We have our first roster. The team that will be going to Milan is the number 2 seed, LeStream. The majority French squad, but not entirely French anymore. This, of course, is the core roster that used to be Millennium for a very long time, but they've added some newcomers. Aces and Uno. The newcomers, not very new, though. They've been around for a while.
Well, I mean, they've been playing for a pretty long time. Uno's kind of, if you want to talk about it in terms of, like, relatively, Uno is actually a kind of a new player.
Very true.
Yeah, because he came in just a few, like, 3-4 seasons ago, something like that.
Yeah.
So, but he's also one of the premier players, I think, in any respect. He's a really highly skilled individual, and you kind of forget that he is relatively new compared to some of the OGs that you have, for example, on this roster. Oh, look at their opponents, though. Penta, and it's kind of a similar story. A lot of old players, some new, but overall, Penta, definitely a formidable team. They'll be finishing 3rd for this season, or I guess technically, depending on what happens today, they could go down to 4th. That's totally possible, or even, actually, potentially even 5th. All right, right now, they're in 4th. 3rd, bleh. And they could go a great many ways. They can't go up, but they could, go down 3 slots. They've had a really good season, formidable team, lots of big names on there. But right now, they're just playing for standings. That's it. No relegation potential, no land potential. There's nothing for them here. It's the same thing for their opponents, really. I mean, except for LeStream can't change in standings. So.
No, and that's kind of the story here, is that both of these teams are locked in place, at least for their destiny for the postseason.
Like what's going to happen from the result of their standings.
We'll take a look at the map veto, though. Where are we going to go between these two teams that ultimately don't have a lot to play for? Penta's going to take out Villa to start, and then there goes Coast. We also have Clubhouse and Oregon removed. We won't have any Clubhouse at all today. And after I pointed out that Border was falling out of favor for a lot of teams in all 3 regions, we end up going to Border anyway.
Okay.
So I'm going to eat my words right there.
And what are you going to do? You're going to have to play... There's only 7 maps. The whole thing with the maps, man, I just didn't... There's such a small map pool that it really doesn't matter sometimes. I mean, you're going to know what you're playing going into each day because you've got those 2 maps that are taken out. So you're not even planning around 7 maps. You're planning around 5.
Yeah.
So it's... And then what is the other team like? What do they not like? Well, then let's practice these 2 maps. So, like, it's... So, Porter, what does the community think? Who's going to win this? Why don't you tell us? Wow, that's a close one.
That is a very close one.
Not the closest we've ever had, but technically close.
Very, very close. I do like this. I like seeing this. Obviously, the favor goes to LeStream, the team that will be in Milan in just a few weeks' time now.
Higher seed.
Higher seed.
Makes sense.
Look at the standings. But they are 2 and 3, respectively, currently, so...
I mean, we were talking about this earlier. LeStream actually, everybody talks about the reign of terror that Empire had on Europe.
Yep.
LeStream were not too far from that. I mean, if we're looking at records, Empire is 9-2-2. LeStream is 8-2-3. So for LeStream, it's 1 more loss, 1 less win. That's it. That's the only difference in the overall outcome here for Empire and LeStream. The 2 teams in Europe that really reigned supreme this season. We'll be jumping straight into Border then, without further ado. And, well, Penta on defense. They'll be starting with the bans right off the bat.
You can see everyone, as we've mentioned a couple times, the game not going to be effectual on any kind of postseason play, so they're going to have some fun with it.
Will they do as North America did and not ban?
That would be interesting.
It's looking possible right now, but no, they're going to do it.
Well, Penta's going to take out a glass. There's still the opportunity for LeStream to ban no operator. Wouldn't that be fun?
It's shot down real fast there. So it's not going to happen. And so, okay, Hungary is on the other team, so you need to ban Ying. And we did talk about this briefly, but since the flash does still get brighter the longer you hold it, that actually it would potentially for Ying is I guess less of a nerf, more of a change.
Yeah, just a change.
Because then you have instantly detonating really, really, really bright candelas.
Yep.
So it's like,
The only drawback to it is that you can't chain them together really quickly.
Yeah, that's the only drawback,
That's
I guess.
the
But
only drawback.
At the same time, though, you get your entry of the super bright one, and it doesn't delay. Like, the thing about Candela's is, when you have that delay, it's sitting there on the floor, anyone can just break it, and then it's gone. But now you have instantly detonating bright ones. It's just, oh, man. It's silly. I mean, I haven't even tested it myself, so...
Me neither.
But I imagine that would be really ridiculous if it's true. If it's true. Now, she's not going to be played this map. That's not going to matter here. We got Clash and Mira as the two defensive bans, both information operators. LeStream is aware of how well we've seen Clash used by Penta before, so that's not going to happen. Plus, Clash is sometimes an operator you don't want to play against. Mira on border, not being here, is going to free up the attack in terms of movement. It means if you're like, let's say you're last minute adjusting a strategy, you want to switch from an office take to an armory wall take or vice versa, or any other various strategy on all the different sites, then you'll be able to do that without, a huge headache because of the mirror windows.
If these guys say have fun to each other one more time.
Have fun. Have fun.
It's been a couple minutes now and they still won't stop.
Ever come off was weird to you that the camera always starts at the, little wall on the corner of the map?
I think what's more weird is what in the hell is happening right
Maybe it's a knife fight.
Maybe.
Can we find out if it's a knife fight? Well, okay, so basically, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a meme match, and we're going to treat it like that. Because right now, LeStream are calling for a rush in all chat, and I bet you they would do it too. And Penta are setting up to run outside front door. Let's just sit back, relax, grab the popcorn, and see what happens here, yeah? They're not shooting drones. They don't care. Penta is just going to go for it.
Well, this should be interesting. You've got some decoys being placed now outside, and I imagine we'll be staying in the overhead as an absolute terror of flashbangs come running out. And here comes LeStream. It's going to be an overhead view of...
Oh, they're going to Nomad. They're going to do the Nomad.
Oh, they're going to do the Nomad. Beautiful. Beautiful. I like it. They were even talking about Nomad in the lobby before we got underway. Here comes the air jab. Everybody ready? Ace is prepping. Drop that thing down. Let it cue, and everybody's gone. And now we enter Anarchy as everybody starts knifing. It comes down to a 2v1, and everybody's dead in 5 seconds. You don't have a hope in hell of calling that. Although Aces is going to call that someone is cheating. Everybody check the Moss files after.
What a nice job there from Enemy, winning it out. What a beautiful clutch there with the Kanifi. And Penta win round number 1. So now we know the sides. Based on the knife fight, we know the sides, and Penta are going to go ahead and choose defense. LeStream will choose attack. That's how it works now.
Yep. That's how every Pro League game from here on out will be decided.
Of course, if you didn't know, we are joking.
Yeah, nobody take that seriously, please. I tried to drip it in enough sarcasm, but you never know. Someone might take it the wrong way.
Did you see what site that was? Because I didn't catch
it. It was Bathroom Tellers.
Thank you.
It ultimately didn't matter, but they're on the defense and they got to win, so it kind of does matter.
Kind of does, yeah. So we'll be going to Armory now. I mean, okay, so I was about to say you could expect them to take it more seriously now, but what I mean is actually you can expect both teams to play normal ranked strats now. You're not going to be running out front door and nomading each other, then knife fighting. They're probably going to be doing something more along the lines of actually, attacking and defending and all that nonsense.
Yeah, it's going to get a little more intricate, but not by much.
Yeah. So we talked about, we like to do this as much as possible to be really clear about the intentions of players going into a match, and I think that first round is a great highlight to how little these players care about the outcome here.
I think we've only said it about 1 billion times all week, but
it's important to repeat, I feel like.
It does.
Because
it's very important.
It bears repeating.
It does. So, yeah, no one's really, no one's breaking the bank here or sweating too hard about the outcome of this match. I think we can only say about 50 billion times that it ultimately...
50 billion in 1.
All right, we'll get that extra 1 in there, Michael.
So, LeStream bringing a versatile loadout. We've got some decent explosive soft destruction, plenty of soft destruction, if we can call it that. We've got the Thermite Thatcher common loadout here. So they can come from pretty much anywhere, and they have... Well, yeah, that's it. And they've got options. You'll be taking control of East Stairs, as is pretty commonplace. Rise actually potentially could have gotten a kill there on the dock of Enemy who's peeking that main hallway, but he didn't peek it. He will now. Damage is actually Rise's way, though, as he does not land the shot.
Looks like he's going to be going for a repick here in a moment. You can see the wooden barricades being opened up from the Archives balcony and from top east. Sledgehammer from Rise now doing work, some reconstruction onto this trip wall into office. Nobody reinforcing it, as it looks like Penta are well prepared and well comfortable to sit back in the site right now and play from the west side.
With trip wall opened up, line of sight here onto a shield position just inside of A, and that actually might net a kill if Rise is patient enough. Depends though, he's going to need his team to bait a peek from that angle. Evil Eye placed inside of office, gathering a lot of information right now on LeStream's attack strategy. Will be dispatched by the Zofia Lifeline. That's good use of that utility right there. Thermite going for an exothermic plant. Gonna go with the flash just to try and disorient anyone playing inside a site. And oh no, Sir Boss misses out on an opportunity. Why? The vertical play from Aces. Beautiful job there on the skeleton key from below. Enemy though will refrag. And it looks like Penta are starting to take away all of the kills as Blaz puts another one on the board. And this attack has been temporarily rebuffed.
Hicks is going to try and swing some momentum back into the side of LeStream as he'll remove the head of enemies. There goes your flanking dock through break room taken away. This Valkyrie camera giving Alfama some trouble, but he'll finally get it with the third shot. Still waiting for a peek from behind this deployable shield is Uno, and a second exothermic charge coming out onto both of the Archives walls now. Sounds like a nitro cell detonated errantly, and that was Revons. He tried to launch it from deep inside of Archives. Nobody pressuring him from AC or the balcony, so it'll be a head-on engagement between him, Hicks, and Alfama. Lots of shots rang out. They trade a little bit of damage back and forth, but a flank up west stairs now. Start dealing some damage, and Hicks between a rock and a hard place. Revon will collect a kill onto Alfama. Another one for Blaz, and Penta are rolling. It's all Uno left alone now on the rappel upside down of Radio Window. Still, you know what? I'll give him props for the patience, waiting for this peak. Diffuser is surrendered. He's still upside down. He's going to bait for the kills the whole time. At least he'll rappel in now, getting a little anxious. Stun canisters will come out, and he'll ring out into Archives. But on the vault, Blaz will drop him down. That's Penta with the back-to-back rounds. One victory through a knife fight on round number 1, while technically defending Bathroom Tellers. And now Armory and Lockers and Archives will be locked out for the availability of Penta, leaving them only Ventilation and Customs.
So a pretty basic round, executed very well by both teams. I mean, even when you have players of this caliber, even when they're running, you know, basic run-of-the-mill strategies with nothing very special, it does look rather spectacular. And Penta, just with the patience advantage, I would say, in that round, because at no point did they feel, or did it really feel like Penta was getting ahead of themselves or making major mistakes. The only one major mistake that we can highlight is the C4 missed by the Valkyrie going into Archives. Other than that, just waiting and playing their angles. Every single member from Penta doing a good job there. LeStream, a couple mistakes made. They didn't clear out CCTV, and that's probably the biggest one. If LeStream had cleared out CCTV, they wouldn't have had to worry about nearly as many angles. The pressure from LeStream, or that LeStream felt, rather, from CCTV was negligible, though the presence of a player in CCTV does restrict your movement when executing through Office, especially considering those fountain walls were opened up. By Metal as well, we had the Jaeger, so he was doing a lot of work there. Managed to take out one of those players, I believe it was Hicks, in Fountain. So overall, LeStream, I like the attack strategy. They were waiting on those angles that Penta ended up using, but it was really bad timing, and it's often the culprit, the reason a team will lose is just poor timing, and there's nothing you can really do about that. So, hey, unlucky LeStream in a way, but also just good play by Penta.
Yeah, and we'll see if LeStream want to ramp things up here. He's got Alfama coming outside of detention now as the Thermite, this whole hard breacher, and he'll blow open the reinforced walls on detention immediately. And I was waiting for a rush, but they spot the wooden barricade, and they also don't really have anyone in place to try and initiate a rush through Customs. So yeah, now you got Aces doing some prep work here, and they're going to head up top and go for a pretty typical top clear.
So, IQ could be going upstairs instead of down with Uno. There's not going to be a whole lot of vertical play with the IQ gadget, if you're talking about clearing out Armory. The site being in ventilation, though, I mean, that wouldn't have been an option in the first place, so what does it really matter? Ace is going to be droning into Customs, trying to make sure there's nobody there. Alfama might be using both of his exothermic charges just on getting this angle in sight, and I get why he would do that. It's a very powerful angle. You can cut off rotation between A and B if you play it right, but not going to be doing it immediately. Uno trying to do some damage to a wall there. Not going to happen. Fama has eaten a little bit of damage himself as he repels onto the balcony. So the fact that there hasn't been an armory clear just yet from LeStream is worrisome. They saved the second exothermic charge, I believe, to try and clear out armory. And if so, yes, indeed they did. That's good, because it is necessary if you want to go for a B take, which appears to be the strategy here for LeStream, but they still have enough time to rotate.
Xiao Fama gets the job done upstairs and will immediately turn tail down. You got 2 members of Penta all moving in through to ventilation with the echo of Sir Boss, an enemy on the castle. Got Uno locking down supply room though, so there you got limited options for flanks. Blas goes for a run out, and it won't happen. Uno now taking down Sir Boss. There go 2 of your members that pushed into ventilation, removed from play, and Uno now has control over ventilation. Looking onward through these kill holes that were made, a plant going down to the default right beside the vent window. Impact grenades come out in response, but it's only going to drop Alfama to half HP. A frag grenade will push enemy out of position. Aces will take down Ravam, but it's 2 for LeStream and only 1 for Hungry. He'll down off 1, but it won't be enough either. Penta will drop their first round. LeStream take it the first one on the attack. Still the 2-1 scoreline. And Penta will still be locked out of armory lockers and archives, but they could go back to bathroom tellers should they choose.
He'll probably be going to vents again, would be my guess. Penta lost that round purely because of over-aggression, I guess, over-eagerness, you know, like they were... Boss is just going for a run out on the vents window. He had no reason or cause to do that. He just did it. It didn't get away with it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like that run was predicated on any intel. It was just,
hey,
I want to kill people.
Yeah. And then we also had Uno, I believe, get picked off right after, but the response wasn't enough from Penta, and they lost 1 more player who was rotating into vents. So after that B site control was lost, Penta didn't really have a whole lot of response. Another thing to point out, though, is the way that... Oh, it's going to be custom, not vents. Cool. Another thing to point out is the way that Penta responded to losing site control was pretty lackluster. Their murder holes and rotation holes that were set up in the prep phase were not fantastic to actually hold ventilation.
No.
Not that it... but that is the case.
It is.
So Penta are going to be setting up in customs. They'll be making quite a lot of holes here. Key part of holding customs is holding above. So that's going to be important for whoever from... Oh, are they going to open up the one into office, maybe?
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, sweet. So the... setup here, is that a double shield strategy?
Double deployable shields.
They're turning shelf into a bunker.
Hey, can't hate it.
Shelf corner, I guess I should say. There's 2 shelves. But yeah, no, that's interesting, I guess, from Penta. You got some Legion food mines on the balcony, so you know when you're being pressured from this northwest. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, holding CCTV, very important for this site. Ooh, that's... And then there goes your strat.
There goes your double shield strat. Well, it looks like LeStream, after the frustration of not being able to open up both the supply room wall into ventilation and the armory wall upstairs, they now opted for 2 hard breachers, bringing both Thermite and Hibana. All 3 hard breachers are available in this match. LeStream were only rocking a Thermite for the first couple rounds, but now they'll set Uno.
No Jaeger.
Enough. Yeah, and goes Blas. He's got Rook armor, thankfully, so it'll be
A down.
down no matter what. But now you got to worry about the saving grace of Revon, who will be sent to the Angels into the sky. A second frag grenade will come soaring in, but it won't collect as Blas has already been revived, and I imagine it's because he fell through the hatch when the grenade fell off and opened it up for him, because it didn't look like they opened it up.
No, they did open it up. The defenders opened it up, but yeah, he inched through the hatch, and he got safe. At least I think they did. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
Who knows?
Uno is in the main hallway. This could potentially do a lot of damage to the defense. Vertical control lost here for Penta, and that's pretty much, well, going to cost them the round. As Hicks takes down Sir Boss. It actually wasn't Uno who got that kill, quite interestingly. Blaz is in sight, and he's trying to deny the plant. He will miss some shots on the Thermite, though, who just inched out of sight. I think Blaz saw that, but apparently he didn't. It's just Hungry in the 1 versus 5, and he's going to get 1. Can he get a second? Going for the shots, and he will miss. Uno does not, though, and LeStream take the round. Nearly perfect.
Nearly. So, it's a quick 2 rounds back in the favor of LeStream after Penta won, of course, the inaugural knife fight. and then their Armory Lockers defense, which they'll now be available to go back to, and they will. And that round there, honestly, that was pretty seamless from LeStream.
Yeah. It all, I think, stems off of Rise's play on the top floor sledge, managing to get the down on the Rook. The follow-up kill into Ravon was the final. That was the final nail in the coffin for me in that round.
Yeah,
because it was top floor control and for free at the same time. You know, one nade is all it took. He used two, but essentially it was just the one, and it was a single player, no drones in. I mean, how free does top floor control get if not that, right? So. Good job to Rise for his play on the top floor, and then following that, there was nothing really that Penta could have done to bounce back in that round.
Well, seems like LeStream are going to continue the carousel of operators. Now got an IQ in play instead of a Zofia, and we've got the Capitao in now for Hicks. So it's been through the ringer a little bit here.
Also for the defense on Penta's side, they're bringing a Jaeger now, which, you know, not having a Jaeger in that last round did very much cost Penta, as we saw, as we just mentioned earlier.
He's still got a deployable shield, so I'm curious what the deployable shield setup is going to be for Penta. They seem to... we got one right beside Fountain. That's pretty standard. That's kind of boring, actually.
They're just getting ready for the new deployable shields.
True.
Yeah.
Those are going to be wicked.
If you don't know, if you didn't see it, the 6 Invitational 2019, then they teased a new deployable shield with a mirror window kind of thing going on, where little slants of glass. It's one way too. I didn't know that when I first saw the teaser.
They're one way?
I didn't know that. Yeah. At least that's what I've been told. I don't remember. I haven't actually checked the teaser in a long time, but yeah.
I don't remember. Literally, the only time I saw the teaser was when I was watching you guys cast.
It was a long time ago.
Getting ready to watch you guys cast.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we'll find out when it actually comes out. Maybe they'll end up being two-way. I don't know. Because I think that would be better, but who knows? Anyway, LeStream, they have East Stairs control. They're starting to set up for what looks to be an office take. Again.
Yeah, hopefully this time around it can pick up a little bit more pace, but they have listened to at least your first criticism, which was clearing out CCTV.
Yay, they did it.
It looks like they've picked up multiple angles, actually. You've got one member left trying to clear out over towards offices, but you still have the main core of LeStream gathered outside of the Armory wall currently.
Yeah, so okay, it was a shift in strategy here. No longer an office take, now it's an Armory take, and I gotta say I like it. Armory is shallow in terms of its defense right now. They've got an Evil Eye set up to hold it, but there's no players playing at Toby spot or bunker or half wall or whatever you want to call it, that northwest corner of Armory. And that's going to be enemy who rotates into that position as I say that. Wall now opened up. It's a half reinforced wall, as is now common on Armory defensive border.
That seems to intimidate a lot of teams into not pushing headstrong. That is a nice angle from Aces, all the way down the rappel outside a CCTV window to drop enemy.
Why do we not see that more often?
That's a very nice angle. Well, you got Ravon between a rock and a hard place here, as his one hard wall of cover was taken away, and then he has, as soon as it detonates, you got a Uno pushing towards the Baron.
Wow, flashes and the firebolts to deny any kind of, well, denial. But Sir Boss will say, no, sir, thank you very much. I will deny your push-in and your plant. And LeStream are starting to falter here from the counterplay from the defenders. Though the defense is losing multiple bodies very quickly. Oh, a flurry back, and now we're at an even man count. What has just happened here is Penta start putting kill after kill on the board. It's now a 1 versus 1. Sir Boss against Alfalma. Alfalma going for the plant. The Evil Eyes are now disabled, so Sir Boss is going to have to go for a push, but the plant is actually going to be successful. He gets him, though, just as Thermite comes off that diffuse plant. Excellent job there to Sir Boss and Penta as a whole. They'll take this round, and they're first in 3.
That was a very, very well orchestrated back and forth round on the Armory wall. You could see the countermeasures being deployed, honestly, like a dance. It was choreographed. It was, it was beautiful. It was also, that angle from Aces was really sweet.
And Sir Boss, too.
Yeah.
Get to deny the plant, the initial plant, at the beginning of the kind of ingress from the attack. You really got to give props to him for that, because the counter utility from the defenders was slightly delayed from what we were seeing from the Capitao bolts, the flash grenades that were going in. A lot of LeStream's utility was used explosively, you know, go, go, go right now. And there was a slight hesitation on the side of Penta. ever slight, but it could have potentially allowed for a diffuse plan. Serbas denied that outright by getting a long angle kill all the way by like Archive's door. And then it was the rest of the counter utility from the defense started rushing in, distracting LeStream, damaging LeStream. Then Penta started picking up a bunch of kills.
I like that you pointed out the coordination and the teamwork that was being deployed onto Revon inside of the small office there, and then subsequently anyone really to peek out. You know, the flashbangs, the X-Kairos, the fire bolts, the smoke bolts, all at the same time. That kind of coordination sometimes we don't even see some Pro League teams in other levels in other regions or even Challenge League teams. And they're pulling it off in a game that, like you said, is a glorified ranked game.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, though. Because there's this very common thing when you come to, like, okay, so, like, for example, let's look at Ninjas in Pajamas from the last play day and the final play day for Latin America. Ninjas in Pajamas, they could clinch a land spot, right? If they win their match, it's possible. If they win their match, they would have gotten a land spot, right?
Yep.
But they didn't. And why? Because they had a really bad match against Liquid. Liquid played amazing, but Ninjas Pajamas played really poorly. Worse than you would expect them to. And what is that? It's the pressure getting to them. Here, there is no pressure, no expectations. People are just playing to play, doing what they know they need to do. And it's, it's based on muscle memory. It's based on just, I'm going to play the game. There's no complications, no overarching, disastrous thing that you have to think about. And cool, Maverick's kind of coming out. This is neat. But yeah, light pressure, both teams. That's my reasoning here.
You got two hard breachers again here for LeStream, but like you said, it's a Maverick instead of a Hibana. It's an Aces. Play and get Uno back on, I guess, his more typical wear. Okay, that's cool. I did not know you could get up there.
I guess it's the same thing as the balcony drop must be from the roof,
Oh, true. Just do
you
it from the other side.
You get the little lip there, so yeah, it makes sense.
It does.
I don't know why you would do it.
I've never thought to do it, but hey, this is a map where style points actually matter. And none of the other points actually do.
I guess.
Got a little bit of an Ash charge going out towards the front door from Uno as he's looking to disable any kind of bandit trick from Bloss towards the armory wall. It's all castled off momentarily, but no one really from LeStream worrying about the top floor at the moment as Ace is going to push headstrong in. He's going to grab two lined up. One will fall, a second one downed off as he rushes in, collects the second with a pistol. Enemy and Serbas dispatched up with ease, but Blaz upstairs will stop the plant attempt. You've got Penta now scrambling to try and retake the objective. Stall out a plant, there's a man upstairs, and Rise, as Hungry throws down the smoke, Rise with two now. Blaz and Hungry both fall, leaving Revon alone in a 1v4 in the main hallway. Just turns away at the most inopportune timing. Will turn back and collect his one kill onto Uno. He has three more to find as the plant is going down from Hicks. He's got one on top of the server rack to worry about, and laying prone will be Aces. Beautiful play there from LeStream as they barrage the objective. They overwhelm, they swarm, and they smother. Penta, the retake, unsuccessful.
So I think we kind of could have expected this, and I think most of you did who are watching this right now, to see this go probably all the way.
Yeah.
Potentially a draw. We in the first half, nice and even at 3-3, so I don't know, based on what we're seeing, you could kind of expect that to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I think LeStream are playing a lot sharper than Penta right now, especially based off that last round. Though, in that last round specifically, it's the same problem that Penta had the last time they went to Vents. They have actually no presence in Vents.
Yeah.
Like, none. No presence in Vents. And I'm not talking about like a player sitting in Vents. I mean at all. There's no a long angle being set up by Penta. There's no counter utility, equalize, all that nonsense. All these things that they could be bringing, that Penta could have been bringing, that just wasn't really relevant any of the times they went to defend ventilations. And I mean, Aces just walked into B, man.
Just pushed on through. There's one kill hole upstairs, but that was about it.
But it wasn't
being occupied.
Didn't get Aces, yeah. So it doesn't really matter. It's the same thing as like I think they had a Maestro in that round, right? There must have been an Evil Eye in Vents. Or maybe they didn't, but even if it was there, it didn't get used. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to make. It's like, no, whatever they did have didn't end up making a difference. But, hey, it's half swap now, so LeStream get to defend.
Yep, we are done the first half of our first game of the last play day of Europe. For those of you unaware, there are 14 play days in a season. Each team plays each other twice throughout the season. Once in the first half, there's a break for a major, and there's a second half where everyone plays each other again. It's all best of ones. And this is the last and the last play day for the entire season now, as Europe is our final region to conclude in week 14 for play day number 14. We're still waiting to see the other matches that will ultimately provide some kind of intrigue and differential in the standings. Looks like Penta, though, in the midst of a game that really doesn't have all that much consequential effect on the standings, will try to go for an Archives rush. Uno, though, will start to stop it in its tracks, though, with that 416. An immediate ingress here into the back of Archives, though, and Uno continuing to shut everyone down. 3 for the Uno Meister, and the rest of LeStream will all clean up. Easy pickup there for LeStream on the round, as I don't think that was more than a minute long.
The hungry strat. I don't know, man. That was a fast round. So the rush from Penta did not work out, and now LeStream are 4-3.
At least they're happy.
Hungry. I think he's playing a go for right now. I mean, kind of is. This is a glorified go for. I mean, Penta does have something on the line in terms of like where you end the season, right? Because Penta could end in 3rd, or they could end in 5th. We don't know what's going to happen. But
it's nice bragging rights to say, hey, we finished 3rd, right?
Yeah, instead of, hey, we finished 5th, where G2 currently sit. But yeah, that rush definitely didn't work out. Great job to Uno, right? To just, play the game he knows he needs to play. That was a really excellent pre-fire through the smoke. It was through the window, and it was into the site. And it got one player in each position, so that's nice. It's good.
Very well played, predictively there for Uno. So we transition now to a different defense. We got LeStream now looking to try and put 2 together. I don't think we've actually... Oh yeah, we did see a couple 2 in a row to start things off. It was 2-0 for Penta, then 2-2, then a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah.
So now we got LeStream taking a 1-round lead. They're going to go to vent work. They're looking to extend it.
Here's the big thing for Penta. They never were able to defend ventilation.
No.
Penta just couldn't do it. So if LeStream can, then this map is over.
They're only defensive wins. And I say defensive, okay, Aces now on the Jaeger roll will jump out and take down enemies. There goes your Thatcher. They're only defensive rounds. Or the knife fight, which was technically bathroom towers. And then 2 rounds on army lockers. They went 2 for 3 on.
Yeah. So Aces with the first kill in this round. Aces is actually statistically one of the best players in this match right now, as he sits at rank 4 in Europe. He's been having a really good season so far, averaging 9.6 kills per match. That's pretty incredible with a total of 125 kills. We're having a really insane season. The only player in this match who's beating him out in stats is Hungry, sitting at 2nd in the overall leaderboard. Uno looking for a kill in open area. He sees his enemy and, well, land the shot, but it's a little bit late as his teammate Rise dispatched by Ravon. So in exchange, equal there, but it will keep LeStream on top.
Speaking of on top, that's where all of LeStream currently are not.
Yep.
Got nobody upstairs for Armory presence. Nobody really upstairs at all. Uno was the closest member on East Stairs, but now he's gone down. So you got 4 members all playing horizontally here for LeStream for the collapse inward. The good news is, though, that the aggression from LeStream has at least netted them 2 kills to the 1 for Penta, and it could have been 0 kills for Penta. Now I got Hicks prepping a Nitro Cell, and will he walk back onto it? Sirboss will not be eliminated as he narrowly escapes death. I'm not sure he knows how far away he was, but he will meet his end quick enough. Uno will take down Sirboss. Bloss in the immediate trade, though. So now you got Aces holding Diffuser at the top of Metal. He'll back off as well, leaving Hungry and Bloss to work out of a now 2v2 as Aces will fall.
Hungry, like we talked about, one of those top performers. Could be taking down his nearest rival of Aces, and now we're in a 2v2, as you stated. Diffuser retrieved here for Penta. That's going to up their potential to win this round quite a lot. This just got a lot easier, and there's still plenty of utility here on Hungry. The Capitao, very little on the side of Blaz, those nades having already been expended. Same thing for Alfama, though. He is used to C4, and thus it's going to be a little bit less lethal in this round, though his position inside of Custom seems to be unknown to Penta. If they don't drone this out, it could be problematic. Hicks is even trying to support. There's nobody on the site, quite interestingly. Capitao could have walked in, but I don't think he was aware of that. Alfama going for some shots through Passport, so this adjustment here from Penta is being answered back swiftly by LeStream. The firebolts are coming out here. He's trying to isolate the player inside a bathroom, and it's doing a lot of damage to Hicks as well. He's just trying to play the corner to the best of his ability, and he's going to be successful to an extent, but finally finished off there by the bolt. It's just Alfama, though. He's only got to defend for 4 seconds, and this is very winnable for the Valkyrie, but he cannot win the gunfight against Blaz, and Penta will answer back to LeStream's 4 rounds with 4 of their own.
Like you said, winnable scenario. Very, I guess, aggressive stance there from LeStream on the defense, moving all the way over. Both their members off-site, first of all. The retreat into bathroom, very unfortunate, as I don't think that Hicks was aware of the spread of that asphyxiating bolt, as every time he even just tried to readjust his position in behind that bathroom stall, he took more damage from the bolt on the floor instead of the bullets coming at him. So, very unfortunate scenario there for LeStream, as they drop a round that they had a handed man advantage in for a majority of. But good trade potential there for Penta, at least able to work their way out of a tricky scenario, tricky situation, and they level things up at a 4-4. So, we're 8 rounds in. We have a possibility of 4 more to go. Will we see anyone run away with this game, or is it going to be a hotly contested match all the way to the bitter end?
It looks like we're going to have the latter be the case, as either team is willing to just break away with the lead. Some major mistakes being made by LeStream, but mostly just over-aggression and, you know, over-eagerness to get this over with, it looks like, and then Penta will take that opportunity and run with it. Fun fact of the day.
Okay.
Hungry and Aces enter the day with the same amount of kills, 125 for this season. And that, again, is an average of 9.6 per match. So
That is neat.
that is, yeah. It's
After
really
13 games,
125 kills.
they have the exact same number of kills on the same team, no less.
Well, no, they're not.
No?
Hungry plays for
and Aces.
Penta.
I'm not intelligent.
Aces plays for LeStream.
We're going to run that back.
So
Different teams, but in the same match.
yeah, different teams in the same match. The only 2 players in this match that are in the top 10 for Europe, but it's okay, Derek. It's okay.
It's been a long season, okay?
Yeah, you've been casting a lot recently.
It's okay.
Because you went for like the whole, like, all of the last 2 weeks or something like that?
Yeah, this is 11 out of the last 12.
Bam. Flynn the man. Aces is going to take down Blaz. It's a good start there for LeStream. They've had a lot of those good starts, though, early on the defense, and it's always answered back by Penta. There you go, Ravon with the refrag.
It's back and forth, just like the entirety of this match. The storylines continue. Now you got Aces bearing down through the main lobby, looking through this castle barricade. Has now been removed by the lifeline, and again, it's timing. It's Rainbow Six Siege for you. We're really only a minute into this round. Surprisingly enough, at the amount of progression that has transpired. And you've got Alfama again in his customs position. The good thing is for LeStream, they actually have members on the objective this time. It's a repeat of Ventilation and Workshop. We didn't really mention that before, but could have noticed anyway from the overhead. Nothing really at the moment to take down this castle barricade. You might still have 1 impact left on Ravon unless he used it elsewhere, in which case you're just going to have to beat the darn thing down. Nitro Cell being ripped out here from Hicks just to scare anyone off as a fake-out attempt. The sound cue will travel over that little gap on the top of the wall and push people back. But Ravon will take down 1 of Alfama, and then an immediate trade from Aces. It's a bit of a volley here from LeStream, but don't expect it to last very long as we're ready for Penta to trade these back as well. Stacked up inside of tellers and bathrooms right now. Actually, enemies topside over by radio desk. So a little bit of separation from the remaining 2 attackers, but they worked out of almost an identical situation last round.
Penta seem to be a little trapped right now, and the real problem is the player inside of Customs. That's Aces. Sir Boss can't do anything because of that player, and it doesn't seem like Enemy is keen to actually, well, do anything to help his teammate. He's instead hunting the Pulse, and it won't net a kill. Pulse starts feeling pressure, takes out the gun, starts going for some shots into bathroom, because Sir Boss, this is bad teamwork between Enemy and Sir Boss. The communication isn't on here, but Enemy will shut down Hicks as he gets a little too aggressive. Aces, though, still inside of Customs, shuts down Enemy. So now a 1 versus 2, Uno and Aces trying to surround their opponent, who's been trapped for the majority of this round. He does have the diffuser, though, and access to sight. There are no anchors. Sir Boss will waltz into sight, and now with sight control, he's going to attempt a plant. He's waiting for the sound cue, trying to hear the Jaeger in the hallway, hears him, comes off of the plant. Jaeger, though, doesn't know what he's done and went into vents instead. A little bit of damage done to Jaeger there, but now it's a 2-way crossfire here for LeStream. Though they come off the angles, and Aces goes upstairs, forcing Uno into 1 versus 1. Though there's not time for Sabas, and he is distracted. There is no way for Sabas to win this round unless Aces throws. So it will be an auto win there for Aces. A good game sense to go upstairs. Sir Boss a little bit behind on that reaction. A nice attempt, though, from the Thermite.
Valiant effort put forth, but ultimately it's LeStream taking a slight lead once again. Ever since those 2 rounds put together by Penta, it's been a very, very close affair. Again, one of those rounds being a knife fight. I don't think we're going to see another one of those for the rest of the evening, though, considering the stakes on the line for the rest of the remaining 6 teams. Well,
yeah, I mean,
3 of them.
It seems, honestly, after that knife fight, that this got a whole lot more serious. I don't know if you picked up on that, but I'm certainly picking up on it. Both teams seem to be trying very hard to win these matches. Not in the sense of strategic or strategy and like, oh, we really need to win or we're going to lose. And you're like, you're not, the pressure is not there. But at the same time, everyone's doing their best. Aces with 13 kills, Hungary with 5, so those 2 players will no longer share the same amount of kills, I'm guessing, at the end of this day. But, yeah, Aces with breakaway performance here.
Absolutely. Seems like he enjoys this kind of game where the rules make a little less sense than normal, but at the end of the day, I shouldn't say rules, but...
The meta?
There you go. The standard practices. They aren't quite the same as you'd see in a normal game. Especially with the lack of anchor play coming up from the stream. Like, they want to control as much map as possible, and they'll stand and fight to do it. And I imagine that's why we're seeing a lot of these trades, because no one's really peeling back from a fight. They want to take a fight.
The caution is limited.
Yeah.
I mean, the most cautious plays we've been seeing from anyone this whole match, it's for me, like Sir Boss that last round.
Yeah.
Way too cautious.
Ripping upstairs to try and stay alive. I mean...
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the communication between the 2 players in that last round for the 2 attackers was really limited. That's what it was seeming like to me. Because, I mean, we had the Thermite trying to, do one thing and the IQ trying to do something else entirely. Eventually, they did end up coming back to each other, but at the same time, the customs pressure was still so, it was such a problem. Really, if I'm going to point out anything to cost the attack last round, it was customs.
Yeah.
They didn't clear out customs. They couldn't really rotate. And that's it. Now, in this round, here and now, LeStream are playing inside a CCTV. It's going to be Uno and Aces, the duo here, to hold on to this position. No mirror windows available, but Leash and Traps will be very good in terms of information. Oh, some missed shots here from Alfama. Continuing to miss, but he'll land a few onto Blaz. Another player there, that's Sir Boss, to eat a little bit of damage, though that MP5 silence does not make much if you don't hit headshots.
Little bit of impact, both Blaz and Sir Boss down to 75. So there's 1 bar of health apiece, but ultimately they'll still be in the fight.
Shoot, I said silenced, not suppressed.
Ah, true.
Yeah. I guess I'm not intelligent now.
We all have our days.
Yeah.
And rounds, honestly. Here's some asphyxiating bolts coming out, but it's Uno ripping down Sir Boss. He immediately traded on the ingress from Blaz, though, and trying to escape Blaz will cut down 2. Got another trade attempt coming in from Hicks, but he's unable to land a lethal blow into Blaz. The Ash carrying the diffuser, quizzical decision, but now you've lost your hard breacher, so someone's got to fulfill that mantle. You got Rise now peeking with an SMG-11 at range in towards break room from the metal half wall. That's a tough shot to hit unless you're hitting the 1-tap. So now all of Penta will congregate inside a CCTV and outside on the armory wall balcony. It's an explosive of some kind detonating onto the armory wall. It might have been Rise's nitro cell?
Maybe.
I think of anything else, unless it was Blaz blowing it open. But
no, it is what it is, and Rise still has his nitro, so it must have been the Ash, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's done now. LeStream in decent positions to hold on to this as long as they don't get really ridiculously aggressive and give away another pick. They should be able to salvage this round. Got a lot of utility. It's Nitro Cell, Evil Eyes, Yokai Drones. It's just a waiting game here for the defense. They also will need to land their shots, important, and there you go. Alfama will deliver onto Hungary. That's a lot of utility, just poof, gone, up in smoke, or a lack thereof. Blaz will take down Rise, though, as he enters into Archives. And the pressure here Hicks is feeling from North Balcony will be alleviated. And, oh, a sweet double kill there for the Maestro, leaving just enemy in a 1 versus 2. And he will be shut down by Alfama. A great duo there between Hicks and Alfama to win the round for LeStream.
And with that win, we now have a match point scenario. LeStream will guarantee themselves at least 1 point. And most importantly, that's Penta, who have the availability to drop out of 3rd place, depending on the results of the following matches. They won't be able to get 3. They'll still be able to get one if they can run back 2 rounds in a row successfully here on the attacking side. LeStream only need 1 to put this thing to rest. We only have 2 possible rounds remaining. So it's do or die here for Penta, at least for the availability of a draw, but we are guaranteed LeStream at least getting another point into the standings. Like we said, they cannot surpass Empire, though. So they're still going to end up in the 2nd seed for Milan. They're still going to end up in the 2nd seed overall for Europe. I guess the real change will come for Penta should either Chaos or G2 win their match later today.
Yeah, today I think we're going to see a lot of movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird to see it in the end of the season, and yeah.
Rainbow Unicorn Tachanka. Not bad. Not the first time we've seen that.
Yeah. No, we've actually seen Tachanka most of our matches in this last play day. I feel like.
Yeah.
Last play day for Latin America, we saw it 2 matches, right? Or 3 even?
I think it was 2.
Maybe
No,
it was
we
just
saw
2.
it on Monday for North America and LATAM, so yeah.
We've seen it in every single play day for this week. There's always meaningless matches when you get down to the end of the season.
Yeah. There's people caught in the middle who can't go up, can't go down, at least significantly.
In this case, we have a team on the top and a team near the top, but also kind of in the middle, because Europe's a little bit wonky.
Yeah.
In their standings. And yeah, it doesn't matter for Penta, it doesn't matter for LeStream, and we get a double kill for the Tachanka. Blaz and Ravon will never live that down, unfortunately, and well, it's gonna suck for them. Aces is lit up, and yeah, he's been having a really good match.
So I think that's the most successful Tachanka we've seen
in Pro League.
Pro League,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
It's a weird, I guess, record to hold, but Aces, I guess, will have that. I'm sure chat will correct us if we're wrong on this one, but there's also a possibility for him to pick up some more kills, as he's relocated the turret now to break room door. The site is also customs, which completely escaped my mind. Guess I'm clearly not paying attention. But we've got Aces now upstairs, and that's kind of the focal point of this round. You got enemy, Sir Boss, and Hungry trying to work their way out. They've lost their soft breach for the most part. You still got Hungry's sidearm shotgun and some breach charges on Sir Boss. But other than that, you're 2 men down. You're on match point against you. You got to find a way to piece this together, but time is counting down against them right now. They're not making much progress.
There's not really much to say about what we've been seeing from Penta this round, as we haven't seen much of anything. They've inched their way into archives, and that'll be Hungry who gets shut down by Rise. So 2 versus 5 match point. It's looking like this is it for Penta. Again, they haven't and aren't doing much of anything. Oh, hey, look at that. Enemy has worked his way into the main hallway. He could do some damage here if the opportunity presents itself. He's looking for that opportunity, but he'll give away his position in the attempt, and no fish caught. Hanks will shut him down, and are we going to see a perfect round, do you think, Flynn?
Well, there's a Tachanka remaining, and Aces will fall. So there goes Aces' run to add on to the possible record. Sir Boss will pick up some cleanup kills to pad the stats for the ending of the season. But he's got time left, but no diffuser control and 3 members of LSE bearing down on him. Sounds like there's 1 behind him and 2 in front of him, as he's in a hailstorm of bullets right now and somehow dodging them all like Neo in the Matrix. Plenty of shots in through that soft wall and towards Workshop, but they won't land. You can see the TCSG-12 doling out shots, but again, not connecting. That's 3 on the round for Sir Boss as he's looking to continue the run. He's got 2 left to find in Rise's Alfama. They're both 100 HP, though, and with heavy firepower weapons, you're going to run into an issue here for Sir Boss. Continuously running back and forth in the same position, but will finally make some forward momentum progress now as he blows open the bathroom wall. Into Workshop. Still has to recollect the diffuser, but at this point, it looks like he's hunting for kills. Will recollect the diffuser, but with 15 seconds ticking down on him, he now has to push into the waiting arms of a shotgun placed in behind that metal detector, taking a myriad of damage, but it'll actually be Rise from the hatch, raining down hell from above. That will lock things out, and that will conclude the regular season for LeStream and Season 9 for Penta. We will, of course, see LeStream in Milan, May 18th and 19th, and we'll see Penta again in Season 10 whenever that kicks back up.
I never think we've seen the Tachanka be the top fragger for a winning team at the end screen. I think that's got to be new, right?
That's got to be, especially Rainbow Tachanka. We can affirmatively say that is the first Rainbow Tachanka MVP we've ever seen in Pro League.
True. That's a fact. So 7-4.